Ever get that feeling that you just don't have enough time for video games anymore? That the more content they have in them, the less it makes you want to play them, and the easier it is to pick up a game that has such less content in it, just so you can beat it faster, is really dumb. But that's just the way we think. We don't think we have any time. Or at least that's how I am right now. I don't feel like I have any time to play video games, and yet I have all the time in the world. I think half of it has to do with stress. I think there's a lot of arguments you can have. It's down to personal shit you got going on. I won't go too deep into this argument. However, I do feel that touching on some of these points would be beneficial to some people who are finding it rather hard to get back into playing video games, or just finding enjoyment in some of the newer ones. So keep in mind how often you replay a game, and your initial thoughts going in onto a game will shape your enjoyment you will have with that game. Which is why I primarily try to not spoil myself with any trailers or reviews that come out via Steam or what I hear from my friends. Which is why I'll keep some things on my wish list, and I won't play them until I'm ready to just experience something truly unique. A good example of that would be Death Trash. Yeah, that game was really cool. It was a fantastic game. You know what? I haven't beaten it, but I know it's fantastic. It's very different. It's a great game. And I'm beating it in pieces rather than going through it in a whole playthrough, which, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but you can get overwhelmed, and I don't want that experience to be an overwhelming experience. I want it to be enjoyable. So pace it out. It's also like what I'm doing with Darkest Dungeon. When I was 18 or whenever the heck that game came out, I really disliked that game. It was very difficult. A lot of my forces would die because I wouldn't make smart decisions, or my comps weren't great, or I chose the wrong skills, or it's a lot of different things that could have happened. And that really frustrated me. A lot like Noita. Noita is another great game where a lot of mistakes can happen, and you just have to be ready to make those mistakes. It's part of playing games, is making a mistake, learning from it, and improving over time. Eventually, you won't make any mistakes, and you can probably speedrun the game, which is what I do in most of my games that I play. And then I find another game I really like, Divinity Original Sin 2, and then I have 900 hours into it. So that should scream that I've done basically everything in the game, which I haven't. It's perfectly acceptable to keep doing the same thing you're doing, but you'd think you get bored, but sometimes you just don't, and it's a lot of fun. And you try to share that enjoyment with other friends, which, again, brought me a lot of joy, because they could experience a game that I thought was really enjoyable, which they also thought was very enjoyable, even though some parts of it were a complete asshole, but it was fun. It was very challenging, and it was rewarding. But bottom line is, find a goal or something that you want to achieve within a game, even if it is just to have fun. That's perfectly acceptable. Most people don't play to have fun. They play to beat the game, which, in my humble opinion, can ruin the game for you. If you want to go out and do some new stuff, go right for it. Who's to stop you? At least enjoy your time. And that's the point I want you to take away from this video, is just to enjoy your time, man. We only got one life on this rock. Please enjoy your time. We're playing video games out here. They were made to have a lot of fun with friends, possibly even family members. There's really no need for everything to be taken so seriously. Every game just feels very competitive and just striving to be the best. And for a group game, or games being played by friends, should be non-stressful instead of stressful. Also, for this video, I did film a bit of Darkest Dungeon just for this occasion, just to show you that I eventually did come back to it and give it a solid try, and I thoroughly enjoy it. After the years of fearing to come back to it, the fear of making a mistake that cost all of my people's lives, and now normally I don't make mistakes, and it's awesome. It's great. But yeah, anyways, enjoy your time, and I'll see you in the next video.